Hey everyone, it's Desiree, and we are going to make a fall card, as you can see, featuring products from Scrappy Tails. I am going to be using the small pumpkin die, the Harvest Wheat die set, and fall assorted leaves. I love her assorted leaves dies. They are great fillers for collaging and everything else. I've die cut the pumpkin out of gold metallic cardstock, and I'm going to put a piece of dark red cardstock behind that. Now, you could die cut this from other colors of cardstock to fill in those letters and do some die cut inlay if you wanted to. But with everything that was going to surround this, I didn't want to add that to this as well. Of course, since we're in the fall, our vintage photo, not that I need that as an excuse for vintage photo to come into my card, but I am going to go around each of these leaves. Now, what's great when these die cut, you have the veins on some of the leaves and they don't come out. Now, you can cut them out and do your die cut inlay, because not only does she give you the leaf shape for the die, but she also gives you the die for the veins. I kept those pieces in because when I would put my veins on, it's going to add a little bit of dimension to them. I chose gold and copper metallic cardstock for these centers, and we're just going to have fun choosing what colors are going to go where, and really, honestly, not even thinking. Just having fun putting these two colors together, and then making sure as I put those layers upon each other, I am going to go around with my vintage photo. So all of the leaves, or I should say all of the leaves but the ones, you'll see that pile there just above my glue bottle there. Those there do not have a center, but there are cuts into them to give them some dimension. Where all of the other leaves do have a vein type die that will match that. And that's what I'm just going through. Now, I dug through my scraps, and that is what's great about using these dies. I do keep my scrap pieces. Now, I used to keep every slither when it came to my cardstock. Again, I keep a piece as long as it's a 2-inch measurement. So at least as long as it's 2 inches by 2 inches, I do keep those. If it gets smaller than that, okay, I've got to, draw the line. And what's great is, since I redid the craft room, and yes, I will do a tour once I get myself all cut up. It took a lot longer, and we hit a few road bumps along the way that I did not expect. I will show what the new room looks like. Unfortunately, I don't have the pictures of what it looked like before. I have some, but I will show that. I found so many things and was able to put things together, new ways to organize, and that's what I really got out of when I redid this room, is organization. How I organize my scrap pieces of cardstock, how I can separate those to keep the mirror, the metallic cardstocks in one area, and keep any of those specialty cardstocks, and then my extra die cut pieces. So it is a new wonderful world here, and I just had a ball when I started finally getting back into my videos, and this was the first one that I did. Had to get used to it, but absolutely loving it. I've got two mats here. The deep burgundy red is cut 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and that craft is cut to 4 by 5 1/4. I'm going to take the harvest die, this harvest wheat. Now there's 3 dies to this. There's a die for the ribbon or the twine that goes around this, the main piece, and then individual pieces of wheat. So you can have a lot of fun layering this. I'm actually taking the main piece and I'm cutting that up to give more sprigs. to come out from underneath the sentiment, the focal point. I'm going to use my double-sided foam squares just down the center. I'm leaving the sides open. Now, we always tend to be concerned, okay, this is not going to go well through the mail. For those of you that have been with me, you all know that I love to collage. I love layers. So all of these leaves that I'm going to be placing around this focal point is going to balance that out. It's not going to flatten or bend. These leaves are going to provide that dimension along the sides. Even if I didn't add the double-sided foam squares, if I just added glue, I would always add, yes, it's been a while since I did a voiceover. Got to get used to this. Even if I just used glue, no dimension at all, I would have just put the glue along the center of that image so that I can tuck underneath that focal point. You can see when I add the glue to these leaves, I'm only adding it to the bottom. I don't make sure that it's completely adhered flat. When it's pulled out of the envelope, it's not going to get caught. This can be either one that you put in an envelope or that you mail out or hand deliver. I'm sorry. Now you can see I've got some of these leaves hanging off the edge. I love that look. I think it makes the card come to life. But I also use envelopes that are larger. I do not use envelopes that are 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. I use, I believe it's called an A6 envelope. So it's the next size up in this envelope. So I always have room to play when it comes to my dimension, when it comes to my pieces hanging off the edge or anything like that. You can see I'm now tucking in those wheat sprigs because, again, I've got a lot of metallic going on when it comes to this card. I've got that pumpkin that is sheer mirror cardstock, and I just wanted to make sure that it was balanced along the card. This is a standard A2 size card, and it is a top folding, which means it is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And that is our card for today. I am so happy to be back creating videos. I did enjoy the break, but I am glad to be back, and I do hope you enjoyed this. As always, the products that I used will be listed down below, and if you have any questions, make sure you reach out, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. If you haven't yet, I'd love for you to subscribe, be part of the group. There are so many things that are going to be coming that I am in the works on. And of course, I am getting ready for the Christmas series of 2022. I've been getting so many questions on that. Yes, it's coming. So stay tuned. Enjoy this process. You're creating art. Always going to tell you that, and I'm always going to encourage you. We all don't have the same tastes, but take the techniques that I've used in this video and apply it to what you have in your stash. But always remember, and it's still important to me, always be creative, guys, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Till then.